Hey folks, welcome back to another video. You join me in sunny Spain. It is a warm one. It's a warm one here most days as I'm coming into the sun. It is roasting. Just turn the camera around for you there. That's where I am. I'm just wandering up to a route that I think I've sort of picked as a project. We'll see. It's an 8B called El Infierno, which means hell, I think, in Spanish, or in English rather. And it is quite hellish. The start is a boulder problem. I'm not sure of the grade yet. It's hard to tell when you're still sort of figuring things out. And then it gets to the point you get overly familiar with it, and it's hard to tell then as well. But I think probably about 7B, font 7B, the boulder problem, into the rest of the route, which is probably I don't know, somewhere around 7B plus 7C, something like that. Look at it though, such an amazing spot. I've done a lot of climbing around here. Those drawers there, if you can see them, are in a route called Pantanera. That was my first ever 8A quality route. Someone messaged me on Instagram yesterday saying that's what they're working at the moment, and just to the right of that is a cool 7C plus called Aroma de Verdun. That's really good as well. There's so much here to do. It's a stunning spot, as you can see. I came to the crag quite early today so I have a bit of peace and quiet for doing all these chats to the camera and stuff like that, because I'm still a bit self-conscious about all these things. So there's no one else here. The deserted crag to myself is a beautiful spot, as I've said already. Filming on the GoPro today because it's kind of Chilea. It's an impressive place, but it's hard to sort of capture it sometimes because of the sort of scale of it. It doesn't always come out well on my normal camera, my proper camera. So I thought I'd put the GoPro on just so you can get a little sense of the sort of the scale of things going on. But I am sat beneath my project. Excuse me, we're in the sunnies, but it's so flipping bright. El Infierno, like I say. Now, I've said about the scale of Chilea. Actually, this problem, really, I'm only really working it up to about there, which is the 1, 2, 3, 4th bolt, because after that it turns into a fairly sort of steady climb. I had one go on it last year and it felt really flipping hard, and then I came back yesterday and just had one sort of little mini session on it, and it still felt really hard, like desperately hard. But that's kind of a good thing. Projects are an interesting one. You know, I'm in two minds as to what to do here in Chilea. I'm here for about a month before going elsewhere, Margalef, then Santa Linya. Oh, boy wants to be in shot as always. Oh, he's off again now. And I think my main aim of here is to get some mileage in on routes, because I've done a fair bit of climbing this year and a fair bit of bouldering and lots of training. I haven't done much endurance kind of stuff. In Chilea, the routes are often up to sort of 40 meters long, so they are good for getting you fit and you know, getting rid of the sort of pump a little bit so you can climb for longer. But I do get sucked into projects. I love red pointing routes. I love really working at stuff that's really hard for me. So sort of choosing a project, it kind of comes naturally to me to get stuck into projecting. But there's so many routes here. I've done quite a lot of them because this is my 6th year coming to Chilea, Spain in general as well. But you know, picking a project, you want something that's really hard if you want a sort of a longer term project. And I expect something like this to take maybe, I don't know, 10, 12, 14 sessions, something like that. And I'll do other stuff in between. But if you are picking a project, I think it's well worth remembering that the first time you get on it, it'll feel utterly desperate. There'll be moves you won't even be able to do, and probably holds you maybe can't even hold, and that's okay. That's a good thing, right? Before I even pull onto a project though, I've got to be psyched for it. I've got to like the line, like the look of the moves, all that kind of thing. So something has to grab me sort of originally, and that might be a picture of it, a video of it, just walking past it looking good in the guidebook. This route, a couple of my friends did it last year, so I got a little bit of beta for it, not loads, but a little bit of beta. It's kind of not figuring out the moves, it's the hard bit, it's the doing them. I think the moves themselves are fairly sort of self-explanatory from a couple of goes on it. After finding the project though, and sort of pulling onto it, and feeling like, yeah, it's really hard. And it doesn't have, it's not that that has to be how you pick a project, because you might want something that feels a bit more doable, depends how much of a long-term project you want. But I love the fact of it feeling really hard to start with, and breaking it down and refining all that micro beta, getting the muscle memory of positions and everything like that to make the holds work for you. But then you've got to think it's about things like logistics as well. So here in Spain, like, genuinely one of the logistical things is, is it going to be in the sun all the time? I'm going to have a play on this problem in a minute, and it's too hot for it. Like, I won't be able to stick really well to some of the holes that I need to be able to stick to. But it does come around into the shade about 1 o'clock-ish. So logistically, that's fine. I can just plan my day around that, warm up on easier stuff, in the sun, and then come into here when it's a bit cooler. That's okay. Other places, like back home in North Wales, you've got crags like LPT on the Orme. Desperate logistics there, because it's tidal as well, and the conditions are really sort of finicky. If the wind's the wrong way, or there's a bit too much moisture in the air, then some of the holes just end up like soap. My apartment is just over there in the village, so it's a short walk in every morning to get here. But maybe, if you're picking a project, you've got to think, do you live close enough to get there and give it enough time, or have you got enough holiday time, that kind of thing, to go and put some effort into it. Some of my projects this year, as you may know if you follow us on Insta and all that kind of stuff, have been down at Anstey's Cove, and that's miles away from me, but I've had the time to be able to sort of spend days at a time down there and tick a few really good things. I've really enjoyed my time at Anstey's this year. Once you've kind of figured out the logistics, and it's all kind of making sense, then it's a matter of getting stuck in. Now, one of the logistical things for this one is my mate Mike, who I'm here with again, he's got to do some work during the week. So I want to pick a project that I can sometimes just sneak a couple of hours on, and this one's good because I'm only working it to that sort of 4th bolt. I'm able to bring the clip stick up and just fix it and work the route on a gree just for that short section, because the rest of it I think will come fairly quickly. So logistics play a big part in picking a project. And then you've just got to spend some time on it, learning the moves, having fun on other routes as well. I think that's really important. But then refining the beta, and there comes a stage where maybe you're not making progress and it feels like you never will make progress. That kind of almost certainly comes. But I have left some projects behind before because they just feel like too hard, and you can come back another year or whatever. But I think this one is just at the right level to keep me engaged and making progress without getting completely shut down on it. So we'll have another go at it in just a moment. Well, this morning's efforts on El Infierno did not go well. I kind of knew it wouldn't, for a couple of reasons. One, it was really flipping hot. Two, my fingers were still really sore from yesterday, like it's almost like bruised tips, because some of the holes are sort of really pointy and sharp, so I didn't feel good. And as any footage I've got flashing up shows you, it went so badly I could hardly hold some of the holds that I was holding yesterday and making moves off yesterday. But that's kind of projecting a route, especially when you're finding one and deciding if you want to do it or not, especially something that I've not climbed 8B before. So it was always guaranteed to be hard. But like I said, and that little bit of initial chat, doing other stuff as well in Chile especially was always part of the goal. So just being on this route here, kind of climbing up. There's a little bird just going in the hole there. Up there, up to the toothers and stuff higher up. Hopefully got a bit of footage of Mike on it, and then I've actually done it before a year ago, but I kind of got it first go today as well, which is good. Just good training. It's just a really good fun route. And I think for me, projecting, you need to keep it fun, and sometimes the project itself is anything but fun. It can be a bit kind of draining and demoralizing. So doing other routes that are fun at a lower grade, 7A plus, that you can just have a really good time on. I still had to try hard, don't get me wrong, I had to try really hard at the top of that. It's proper little sort of power endurance thing at the top, but I still really enjoyed it, and that's absolutely key. Getting dark now, so I'm just going to go back to the house because I haven't got a torch on me. But hopefully that's been interesting about sort of finding projects. And but I say that I think the key takeaway, some people hate projecting, some people love it, but whether you love it or hate it, just remember to kind of keep it fun by whatever means necessary. But yeah, look at where I am, how can I not be enjoying myself? I flipping love it here. It's just gone 5 o'clock, it's still warm, I'm too hot in this jacket, and it's burgers for tea, so I'm happy. Thanks very much for watching. As always, I'll do some more videos while I'm here, some instructional ones, of course, some vloggy style ones. I'll try and mix it up a little bit, but any requests, just give me a shout. As always though, thanks very much for watching. More videos coming up very soon. Let's go, go on. Go on.